parkway in my automobile, trying to get back to my Pappy's corn liquor steal. Soon as I crossed that Buncombe County line, something in the air blew my podcast up high. It was a whistle from the chicks in the city sticks, and I knew right then it was gonna be my fix. No need for white lightning to get my start. It's hey Lord, have mercy, Hannah, bless your heart. Lordy, yeah, you know what I mean. It's not strange, take it from me. Lordy, come and listen to see weird mountain gals on the party. Up on Weird Mountain, they've getting their kicks, jamming on the porch just to hit match. Turning up the pot, that's what they do best. They can dish it out till there ain't none left. W-Y-R-D, yeah, you know what I mean. No, it's not strange, take it from me. W-Y-R-D, so come and listen to see Weird Mountain Gals on the party. Well, I finally found my Pappy's corn liquor steal. Filled up the jug and had to hit the trail. Gotta get back to the cottage in the Mashville woods, to the Weird Mountain Gals neighborhood. W-Y-R-D, yeah, you know what I mean. It's not strange, take it from me. W-Y-R-D, come and listen and see Weird Mountain Gals on the party. It's them Weird Mountain Gals on the party. It's them Weird Mountain Gals on the party.
Do you consider yourself normal? Then this is not the show for you. Please go somewhere else. This is WYRD. If it's getting weird, it's got to be the Weird Mountain Gals show. You're listening to Byron and Alicia, the Weird Mountain Gals.
Knock, 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 knock. Knock, knock, knock. I did another podcast this morning, recorded it as a guest on their podcast, and she said, I've got this great idea. How about if you like come to the door and ring the doorbell and then come in? I was like, do you listen to Weird Mountain Gals? Are you just copying us now? And she went, well, I do listen. Do y'all do that? Don't even play with me. Don't play with me.
Yeah,
You know we do it. We do it every damn week.
yeah, if we didn't do it, people would ask us if we were mad at each other or something. You know?
Right. They did the door. You just keep the door open all the time like a barn?
That's right.
Huh? Do you?
Well, I like open doors. But the rest of it is just no. How many times?
It's just no. Yeah. Belly Bum, how are you?
You know what? I'm recovering from Samhain. I've had some fairly good sleep the last couple of days, and I'm enjoying some awesome weather. Awesome weather. I wish
Yeah, it's awesome, but I want it to rain.
You want it to rain? Yeah.
Yeah, we need rain bad.
From what I understand, I think yesterday was day 18 without any rain at all. And I think I heard them say that if we go another day or two, we will have set a record of some kind. And
My
we're
Lord.
down for the year of about a foot of rain, about a foot
Yeah.
of water, and it's not good.
It's not good.
Did you see my post about the fire in West Asheville the other day?
Yeah.
It's still going on. I sat here and watched helicopters, or excuse me, planes dump water on it. It was
Oh my
very close.
gosh.
So it can happen. Fire
Yeah,
is
and
scary.
it is scary. And it jumped across Riverview,
Yeah,
jumped across the road to where the houses are.
yeah, I know. It sure did. And they set up their water station there, not even 1,000 feet away. So kind of crazy.
Yeah,
It
it is. And I grew up out there in West by God, Buncombe County. And I lived the way the house and land were set up. We were on the flanks of the mountain.
Yeah.
So we had woods on three sides of us, basically. I mean, there's the road was at the bottom of our front yard hill, and our neighbors that were, if you're facing the house that were on the left, there were neighbors there, but they had a lot of trees. Yeah. And then to the right of the property was a strip of woods that, oh God, now it's going to be the phone and the clock, and let's see if anything else will happen. Maybe a fire truck will come by. I don't know.
There'll be a train by here. This place will have a train in a minute, and then there probably will be a fire truck. Well, hopefully not a fire truck. Hopefully not.
Well,
this weather.
Yeah. Anyway, so we had woods up behind the house, and every fall, I don't remember fall that wasn't like this. I had a box under my bed that had whatever my precious things were in it, and we were ready to evacuate at any time. Now, we didn't have much, but like I would have my box of 64 Crayolas and some toys and maybe whatever book I was reading. And I would remember staying awake, watching the windows. And if there was a fire somewhere on the mountain, there'd be that kind of orange glow. And I would just stay with my clothes on, stay in the bed, watching the window. And I still remember that. And I got my arms all crossed over me. Yeah. I'm still living in the trauma of that. That was very, very hard.
That would scare the crap out of me. We whatever reason, I never had worries about fire, but it may be because there was always a creek real close by to our house. Right. Or something. I don't know. It just wasn't brought up. Now, my grandpa was a volunteer fireman. So he was, because they didn't have a regular fire station there. And
that's exactly right.
Yeah. So he was always leaving. If you hear that alarm, you got to go. But so I was aware that they were around, but it just wasn't. I think I was more scared of a boar than I was a fire. No idea why. Just weird childhood.
So this all just brings back all those memories.
Yeah, it does.
And our buddy Diotima down in Henderson County, she about got burned out.
I was very concerned, and that fire is still going. It's just not going in her direction right now, and I hope it doesn't.
That's right.
Yeah.
She went back home Monday, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, it is what it is. It's Western North Carolina. We could have it worse, but we are getting more kind of weird weather phenomenon or weird geological phenomenon or just weird phenomena. We had those earthquakes earlier this year. And
yep.
I don't recall anything like that around here before.
Well, yeah.
We've had
we had the hottest August on record for here.
Yeah.
Was it August?
Probably.
Maybe.
It was.
I don't know. We're sitting here right now, and I can't, because I'm on my phone. I can't see what the temperature is outside, but it's coming on 2 digits of November. and it's probably 80 degrees out there.
I'd say so. Let me see. I'm looking right now because, to get up and walk 4 steps and look at the actual thermometer that's outside. Anyway, it's 79. So that's
Yeah, there you go.
warm. My mother's been going out on the porch, her back porch there, and sitting in the morning and soaking.
Oh, good for her.
When it gets dark, she dreads it. When it starts getting dark.
Oh.
Well, I know. And so right now what she's doing is soaking up that sun and letting it just.
Well, I gotta tell you, I think I probably have the opposite thing. I have seasonal affective disorder about summer.
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
I'm glad when we get to where we are right now. It's like, woohoo!
Yeah, me too.
It gets dark at 5:45. Woohoo!
I was just talking about that, and that's exactly how I feel. And I watched a monologue from one of the late night hosts, and he was talking about how in the government they never agree on anything, but they did agree on getting rid of daylight savings time last year. Both parties.
Yeah, but then they didn't do it.
And then not a damn thing happened. And that just goes to show you that you can have agreement and nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. We're not going to have a big radical change, I don't think. Can we get into politics now?
Yeah, let's do it. Here's the thing. When the people vote on something, that is the voice of the people.
Right.
When the people say, we don't want this thing, or we want this thing, then all the politicians are required to do is to figure out how you get that thing going.
Yeah.
Or you stop that thing. One or the other.
Well,
they don't have to debate nothing. They ain't a thing for them to debate. No debate.
Well, there shouldn't
It's
be.
been answered. It has been answered by the people.
Well, there shouldn't be a thing to debate, but what they all have their agenda. And if they can't get it one way, they'll get it another way. And that's the way I really feel a lot of them operate, by hook or crook. My way or the highway.
Mostly by crook, because they are a bunch of crooks.
Right.
Oh, golly. Oh, but yesterday went pretty well for a lot of things.
For women's rights.
Virginia went well. West Virginia went well. Ohio went well.
And
it gave me, it gave me a little bit of, tiny bit of hope, I guess. If I don't really do hope, but
if it honestly is the will of the people, we have to think about that, because we got that popular vote from 2016.
And the Electoral College.
Vote. You see?
Yep.
So the Electoral College has caused a lot of this, in my opinion. And
yes, it has.
Yeah, I'm all for getting away from it. I've thought it out because I know it'll have huge ramifications if it were to actually be a thing. And I could see. But
as you pointed out not 5 minutes ago, we already agreed to get rid of daylight savings time, and they can't even do that.
Right.
So you think they're going to get rid of the Electoral College? No, it'll never happen.
Anybody might possibly benefit from the gerrymandering and the unfair practices that are going on because of the Electoral College. They're going to get right in the way of that process.
Yes, they are.
And
or they're just going to ignore it, or they'll just ignore it.
Yep.
And it'll be like, you listen to the news and it's a half hour of just, why are we hearing this? Why do I need to hear this? Why is this news?
Because, well, and the news media outlets are guilty, in my opinion, of the cheesiest kind of manipulation that there is. They shouldn't really be doing that. You have to look so hard if you can even find a news outlet that's not completely shaded in either blue or red. And have their agendas. They have their agendas. They only run certain polls, and I know because I check all of them, conservative ones, even the liberal ones, and you rarely find anything that's actually news, just like it used to be news. Tonight,
No,
everything is
now
news.
now it's just a platform for advertising.
Yes.
So they've got to keep their eyes focused on it. So whatever the news is, it's got to be big and splashy and preferably really, really scary.
Right.
So that the American people are like, oh, my pearls, let me clutch my pearls. Oh, I mean, it happens with the weather all the time now. A day with a cloud floating through the sky is a weather worn day. Oh no, put your umbrella in the car. You better wear your jacket. Oh no. Well, listen up, Mama. I'm big enough now to know when I need to bring my damn umbrella. Or maybe I just leave my umbrella in the car, Mama. You don't have to be nursemaiding me.
Well, but those those weather worn days are almost always followed by an appropriate air quote commercial
For a local food place where you can go buy your milk and bread.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, might rhyme with jingles.
I'm just I'm just go ahead.
I was gonna say you and a lot of people are just.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just.
So hopefully
we're tired of being manipulated. We're tired of being told what's going on when we can see with our own eyes that's not going on. And there's stuff, I swear to God, I've got to the place now where it's like I can smell something wrong with the news. When they have a news story and I'm like, that can't be right. I don't believe that thing just happened.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, they go, oh, yeah, no, we misreported that. It wasn't really blah, blah, blah. It was really this thing here that's like this. And it's like, see, I knew that wasn't right. I knew y'all were telling a big old fable.
Well, at least you're listening to a place that will retract their statements.
And that's unusual.
It is. I think you have to be caught right dead in it to have them reflected on the media like I don't know, MSNBC or Fox or CNN or something like that. They have to be caught red-handed.
Red-handed. They have to be called out on social media. Now, I was just laughing about, oh God, who was that politician that said the only way he wasn't going to get reelected was if he was found in bed with either a dead girl or a live boy?
No.
I don't remember who that was. It's probably in
Lindsey Graham.
No, but now Miss Lindsay's been pretty quiet lately.
Have you heard anything about
her, Lindsay? Huh? Wonder what Lindsay's up to.
Trying to stay out of the public eye, or excuse me, the judge's eyes. He doesn't
reckon he's about you don't want to be called to New York? I love New York. What a fun town. Go on up there.
A fun town. I've never thought of New York as a fun town.
Oh, I have. I have in my life loved New York. Right now I'm just too peopled out to go to someplace like New York.
Yep. There's no way. I don't even want to visit a place like that right now. Assuming I could, I still wouldn't want to. I had that talk with my buddy David, who lives there, about he started out here and then he moved up there in his early mid-20s, and he's been there ever since. And I said, when you're sleeping in one of those buildings, there are thousands of other people all around you in 360 degrees above you and below you and beside you. And it's like, that's a lot of people to sleep with in the it just feels strange to me. It does.
Well, I have found, and I might have mentioned this last week, there were a couple of days before it got cold last week that I was hanging clothes out on the clothesline, and it was quiet. There wasn't a leaf blower. There wasn't a train. There wasn't somebody with music too loud. I could just hear the birds. little bit of a breeze, hanging out my clothes. It was just perfect. And I thought, I miss this. I miss the just being able to hear nature and not have to hear whatever my damn neighbors are building or whatever car putting around or all that.
Thinks that they have great taste in music, and everybody else would be interested to hear that. Don't you like my obscure even throat singing? Yeah. I mean, I actually do like that, but
I did too, actually. That would be okay. Well, we've got this new hotel opening up down here, and they have a roof restaurant, bar, whatever. And there's going to be plenty of music there, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like much of any of it.
Do you think
but I don't have a
to hear it?
I don't have a choice on that. Oh yeah, no, I can see the damn thing from my kitchen window.
Oh.
But they don't care, because even though this has been is a residential neighborhood and has been one for over 100 years, it is on the edge of the industrial belt. So they just figure, well, if you live here, I guess you must have known what you were going to be getting into. Anyway, I don't know. Bitter, just a little bitter.
Well, and every right to be, I think. Well, I'll tell you what, if it gets to be too much, you call me and we'll run off to the farm for a while this winter. Because that place is the best place to go ever in the winter. I'm telling you.
Except it's so damn cold. I got to do the windows down there.
Yeah. Well, now I wasn't talking about the cottage.
You were talking about down at
farm. The other farm
that'd be nice.
Although, Wyrd Mountain is always the best place for me. I love it so much. But if you ever want to just get outside in the wintertime, we'll just call me and we'll just head that way.
Well, I'm going to be getting outside more in the winter. That's my resolution.
I know, and I'm glad about that. I am glad about that. It's the best. It's the best.
I'm going to be happy as a clam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy now because you know what? I got a new washing machine.
Oh, yeah. I felt really bad last time because you had mentioned it. And Miss ADD here, I told myself to ask you about it. And then we went off on this wild conversation and we'd already hung up. And I was like, Byron, tell me about your washing machine.
Well, I just this afternoon did the first load I've ever done on it because I've been out of town.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Does it do a nice wash?
Top
It was
loader?
lovely. Top loader. Okay. Top loader. I prefer that to a front loader. I don't know why. Maybe just because that's what I've always had.
I like that too. Is it one of those high efficiency ones where they tell you to pack it as full as you can?
It's very plain. I get, I think, 3 choices in how much water goes in. I get 3 choices about hot or cold or warm. And then I get, multiple choices about how long I want it to agitate. That's about it.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy.
Well, most of the I use a couple of different washing machines, depending on if I'm doing my laundry or whoever else's laundry I'm doing. And the one that I like the best, I've got these modern ones, but I like this older Kenmore family washing machine. And it's just, it's the best, but it's not.
Kenmore used to be a great product.
Yeah. Well, this one, it's like you can't kill it,
Yeah.
I hope I didn't jinx anything, but it's probably the best one I've seen.
Well, the washing machine that we replaced, we've had it for probably 20 years, and it was used when we got it. So it was an old one. We got it from over at Mr. McCarson's on Haywood Road.
Wow.
That's how long ago.
Is he still there?
And we didn't, what?
Is that store still there?
Oh,
I didn't think so.
No, but there is a little one, also that neck of the woods, down near the bowling alley on Patton.
I didn't know that. Where?
across from the bowling alley, there's a little shopping center. It's where there used to be, this is so Asheville. There used to be a dentist there, and then there was a consignment shop. And now it's a used, well, not all used, but it's an appliance store.
That is cool. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So it's a good one. It's shiny and new, and it does a good wash. Our old one had got to the point that if I did a load of blacks, which I do, as you know, once a week, I'd get these weird streaks on my clothes. And I don't know what that was, but the new washer does not do that.
Lucky.
So a new washer is a hello, hello, hello. Very nice.
I remember the washing machine that I started out with was a hand-me-down from my grandma. And so I want to say it was 25 or 30 years old at the time that I got it.
Uh-huh.
And I used it for another 25 years, if you can believe that. And
no, I can't believe it.
If I just hadn't, what happened was I inherited another washing machine that was much newer, and I changed it out. And I'll bet you that thing is still running today. If anybody had bothered to use it, I don't know what happened to it. Can't remember. But it's like, those are the things that hardly they wouldn't die. It's like those old cars from the 70s that were actually made out of heavy metal, and they were like tanks. So yeah, and they just, they used to make things like that, and they don't anymore. Functional obsolescence.
Exactly. We were having trouble last week with well, it was a whole world of different things that ended up being Duke Power messing with us. But I thought our microwave was going out. And I know we've had that microwave. It's probably about 40 years old. Because my mother gave it to us as a wedding present. And we have been married for 36 years, 37 years.
Yeah.
And you can be sure she got it on sale because it was last year's model. So it's just almost 40 years old. And I thought it wasn't working. And I thought, well, golly, I can't complain about it because it's given us a good service for literally decades. But once we got the power thing switched up and fixed, it's working fine. So right on with your bad self.
I'm two minds about stuff like that, because on the one hand, the new things are supposedly much more efficient and better for the planet, supposedly.
Right.
But on the other hand, the older things, it seems to me like some of them do a better job. For instance, those newer washing machines that tell you to just stuff them as full as you can, and they don't have an agitator in the middle. They're called high efficiency, I think.
Right.
If you stuff them as much as you can, and you do what they tell you, and you use the amount of soap that they tell you to, about every load will have some clothes that are still dry.
Ooh,
no,
that's awful.
Yeah, and that's not clean, obviously. And there are some, and I know you about this subject. There are some of them that have a throttle on the temperature of the water. And yes, that's better for the planet, I think. That's the selling point on it. But on the other hand, do you really want your diseased friends' underwear or whatever in there getting washed on warm? I want to sanitize that stuff. Get it away.
Exactly. Well, I think all of that, we're going to be careful about the planet, is all predicated on using as much as you possibly can of whatever it is.
I think
just use it. Use more. Spend three times what you spent for your original appliance, so you can get one that's energy efficient. But maybe what you need to do is not wash your clothes after one wear. If you wear it once and you didn't stink it up, maybe put it on the hanger, wear it again 2 or 3 or 4 times.
What a thought. Now
I know, shocking.
I know people who could not function that way. They would feel grossed out.
Then they will be destroyed. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, the planet.
Because if you can't wear something you wore already, let it air out a little bit. I mean, I don't get it. We talked
Well,
about that in the 70s all the time about reducing your use.
right,
Turning the lights out when you leave a room.
right.
Don't have every light in the house on at the same time.
Yeah. Don't
Don't
have
let
to
the
replace
water run. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say you don't have to replace everything all the time instantly. That's what I see.
No, you, I know that you and I have said this about 10 bajillion times, but people have just an ounce of common sense. An ounce. It's all I'm asking for, a damn ounce of common sense.
Well, if common sense were lard, there wouldn't be enough to grease a pan with.
That's exactly right. What a great phrase.
Well, you should like that because you posted that phrase on my wall like 3 years ago, and it was a picture of Granny Clampett. And I've never forgot that phrase because it's like, dang, that says a lot, doesn't it?
It's just, I'm just wore out with stupid. I'm wore out with it.
I've gone past the I don't understand, although I still feel like that. I don't understand why, and then fill in the blank. And now I'm just at the point of going, well, y'all stress me out.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to do my thing over here in my corner, and you go ahead and do your thing, and you have to live with yourself. And that's, I mean, right now I'm calm and I'm saying that, you know, that's not always the case, but I'm trying really hard to stay very even keeled.
That's good.
Yeah, I feel.
And I'm working on that too. I talked to a friend of mine this morning, and she said, "Oh, it's because I'm so stressed out, and there's been stress." And I said, "Listen, it ain't gonna get less stress. It ain't gonna happen. So what you need to do, what I need to do, what Alicia, all of us need to do is figure out how we manage stress. How you gonna do it? Because there's not gonna be less of it. There's only gonna be more of it.
And everybody is different, is what I found. It's like I want to be able to zoom out of every situation and have clarity about it and then walk away. I'm not able to do that all the time, you know, but when I do, I'm much better off. But I see folks who they have to get mad about it and then they can walk away from it. You know, I don't know what you have to do to get right, but y'all need to do it. Don't stress yourself into a heart attack over stuff, because, you know, then you'll have to deal with a heart attack too. Or maybe you won't have to deal with anything anymore.
Yeah, maybe you'll be all done.
Yeah.
Well, I have had
eternity thing.
I've had some just pitiful tarot card clients this week who they just were going through just amazing stuff, hard stuff, but also crazy stuff. So I am now asking, you know, I routinely say, so tell me about your astrological stuff. What's your sun sign? What's your moon sign? Because I find that helps a little bit. And now I'm asking people, so have you got a good therapist? And when was the last time you saw a doctor to find out, you know, how you're doing, get a good kind of baseline about how you're doing? Because I'm just your tarot card reader. I ain't your mama, I ain't your doctor. I can't be your therapist.
You're not
and there's some people
for their whole life.
Yeah. And I do function for some people in our community as their clergy person. So I'm there, I counsel them if they want counseling, but it's just people are just in a sad place. They're in a hard way.
Yeah. And I have nothing to add to that, because you're right. It's a shame, but I have nothing to add to it. I've been stressed out recently myself, and that's why I've decided I don't want to be stressed out anymore.
No, me either.
I've had enough of that. And there's too much good stuff that I can think about, and I feel better when I have action anyway. So I'm trying to follow up my frustrations and stuff with some action, even if it's just writing it down or whatever. I got to get that. I really got to get into that habit, because that'll be one of the better things I'll do for myself.
Yeah. And that's a good protocol when you're feeling that kind of like gut crunching in and buzzy in the head and all that stuff. Yeah, it's good. I tried to do that. It is almost impossible to fly in and out of Asheville directly to really anywhere except Charlotte or Atlanta. So coming home, I had to fly through Charlotte, and I already knew I had a 3-hour layover in Charlotte. Now, if my car had been there, it would have been quicker for me to drive home, but my car was not there. And I just got myself all, oh God, and now 3 hours in Charlotte's such a hellhole. And I was getting myself all worked up about it. We're on the plane, and they said, well, we got a good tailwind and we've made great time. So we're going to get into Charlotte about 20 minutes early. And my thought was, well, damn it. Yeah. So then I just said to myself, calm down. You got plenty of food with you. You got plenty of stuff to do. You're just going to find a seat and you're just going to hang out for 3.5 hours. And that's what I did. And it was fine. It was perfectly fine.
Can I ask you, does that place not depress you, the Charlotte airport?
Oh, well, the people depress me because they mostly are just so shallow, and I'm just not around those kind of people very much. So when I'm there with the kind of people that watch athletic events and the Golden Bachelor and crap like that, and they're talking about it with great enthusiasm, I'm like, y'all, I don't know if you got a brain in there, but if you do, you might want to focus on something besides that. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. So the place doesn't. It's as an airport, it's pretty okay, but just all those people. Yeah, I got peopled out a little bit.
Yeah, the Charlotte airport's got a lot of fluorescent lighting. And
yes.
Get in there in the evening or at night after dark. It just seems like it goes all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
But you're not.
Yeah. So let me see if I got any news for you. I don't know. Things have been thankfully somewhat quiet since Samhain. Feel like I need the recovery time,
Yeah. Samhain was hard this year. It's still hard. I mean, I always think of Samhain as a season, so it'll keep dribbling on in my world until the solstice. But the bulk of it, the big part of it's done.
Well, it felt done. You see, it felt like whatever it was okay. Whatever it was, it's not there anymore, but it's not bearing down on me like it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I felt I was really exhausted too. I really was. And I don't know, I'd say it's the hardest one yet for me.
Oh.
Well, it is what it is. Even when they're hard, they're good.
Well, I think so. And this one, the lead up to it was harder than the actual event. So we did our thing on Monday, the 30th. It's going to be a robot that's called me and ain't got a thing to say because it's a robot.
Oh, well, I can't even hear it from here.
Oh, good. So that Monday was that we did the vigil was just beautiful. It wasn't difficult, wasn't exhausting, it was just beautiful. And then the next day I was at the shop most of the day. And that was lovely too. So the actual 2 events were fine. And then, I packed my bags and headed for beautiful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
I like Pittsburgh.
I do too.
I like Pennsylvania in general. For some reason, I don't know why. It's pretty.
Yeah, I like it. It is pretty. And lots of farm country, and then not, big cities too. So it's got a lot of stuff going for it.
Well,
yeah, that was good because last year I ended up, because I didn't have a whole lot of guidance from the person who hired me for this event last year or this year. And last year I ended up she wanted me to do like the keynote address about community. And I started doing that, but I don't know, it was just a mess last year. So this year I got everybody on their feet and we did the belly basket and we did a spiral dance. And then we sang that song, Roots Down, got the roots down into, we did all that. I got them up, I got them energized, and then sat them back down. It was good. It was excellent.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they liked it too. So that was good.
Well, I did one kind of funny thing. I had a Zoom meeting with some people in a support group for MCAS, you know. So
Yeah,
a couple of them now, and the first one was just not well attended at all. And this one, on the other hand, though, there's about, I don't know, 20 people, and they were all around the little screen. You could see their little faces there and all of that stuff.
Aww.
But what was funny, and it was just, I don't know why I got such a kick out of it, but it was hilarious. Most of them, you know, MCAS people have pain issues, they have anxiety issues, they have bathroom issues, they have all these issues, you name it, a variety of them. And most of them, by the time they get diagnosed, are in their 40s or 50s or older, because it's so, you know, it wasn't even found out about until a few years ago, and it takes years to get it that complicated of a medical history, right? So these people, it also says that like some crazy statistics, like 75 or 85% of the people who have it are not able to work anymore. They can't work because they can't room, or they can't, you know, you name it, just different.
Oh my gosh.
So you know, here, these are like my people. That's kind of who I am too. And the meeting got started, and I'm always fascinated when I see all the little faces around the screen there. And I'm looking, and they were just blatantly drinking and smoking weed right there during the meeting. It was funny as shit. There was a woman who, if she wasn't 80 years old, I'm a natural blonde now, because she might have been younger, but if so, she'd been rode hard and put up wet, if you know what I mean. And she whipped out the biggest bong, like something out of a Cheech and Chong movie, and she was just,
oh my gosh.
it was so funny. Oh God, I don't know. And you tell that the person giving the meeting was kind of, didn't really know how to address that, because you know, it's legal in lots of states and stuff, but it's just not something you really expect in a meeting that was that well attended. So, I just thought it was hilarious.
That is, I don't know. That's just kind of weird, though. Would you do that? I don't think I would.
Well, considering that it would be recorded, and also considering that it would be around people that I've never really met in person before, and recorded for posterity, and it's not legal in my state. I don't know. I think if I did, I would at least try to move my head off screen or something.
Yeah,
Instead of just sitting there like,
yeah, I think I might be a little more discreet. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, that is different. You know, if it was the Weirdlings or something, and it was private, closed group where we just love each other and are hanging out, I don't care what they do. Do you? But
no, And that reminds me that we need to do a little come to glory moment with our weirdlings.
Oh,
go and see them. No, we need to do a Zoom with them and talk to them.
Let's do it. Let's set it up.
Don't you think so?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
It seems like Ilsa's feeling some better. Hey, Ilsa.
Hey, Ilsa.
She looks like she's feeling better anyway.
I believe she probably is. I hope so. She's had some stout things to overcome.
Golly, hadn't she? She's been such a trooper.
Yeah. And so, I think it might be time, and we don't have to throttle or have a time limit on it. Not that we would want it to go on forever or anything, but before we had a pretty strict time limit on it because of the version of Zoom that we were on.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So we could at least moderate it down to, keep it at an hour and see what happens. I'd be interested to know what they would be interested to know. And and I've often thought about that.
That'd be fun.
Let's do it.
Let's figure out how we can do that.
Well, you check your schedule because you're the one that has.
You know what? My schedule is so good right now. I mean, today ended up being crazy just because I got a thing tonight. I've been invited to be part of this book club. UU book club is doing my book, and I'm going to be the guest at their meeting tonight on Zoom. And then I'd forgotten about that thing at noon today. If I ever even wrote it down, I don't think I did. So, yeah, so it ended up being it's a Zoomy day today. But yeah, my schedule is good right now. I got plenty to do, but nothing hard or stressful or pressing.
That's good. Well, let's look at like an early evening or middle of the day on a weekend. Your choice. Yeah.
Well, it might be nice if we can do something at the evening that we all bring our supper and we can have supper together.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yes. All right. That has to happen. I love that.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
Maybe we could, just let them have question and answer if they have anything they want to ask you or whoever. Not that I have anything that they'd want to know about, but
me either. I mean, I just think it'd be time for them to check in with us. They hear from us all the time.
Yeah.
So they know how everything's going.
I want to know how Sonia's new job is going. I want to know how Ms. Strand, I think her last name is, how her animals are doing. I want to know how John Tree knew about that video. That Ray Stevens video sitting up with the
I'm telling you, Mr. John Tree, he knows his way. Oh. Honestly, he is one clever man. But I'd love to do that.
All right, we'll get it set up. And so, all right, let's see. We talked about politics. We talked about the Wyrd link.
We jumped right into politics, didn't we? I love that.
It's on my mind.
We ain't talked about supper yet, though. What are you gonna make for supper?
I haven't made any plans yet, but I did see something that reminded me of you, and I recorded it last night. It was an interview with Dolly.
Oh, I watched that. The one on TV?
Yeah, I didn't see it. Did you see it?
I watched the whole thing. Yeah, it was like a preview thing for the CMAs. Yeah, and there were just a whole bunch of it was like a tribute show, and she did interviews on it. Yeah, it was good. I watched it.
Was she? I saw a little, like a blurb about this video she's got where she's getting inducted maybe into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something.
Yes.
She was wearing black leather.
Yes.
She had a black guitar.
Yes.
Then she hit that guitar, strummed it real good, and then the commercial changed, and I thought, son of a bitch, she knows how to play guitar too.
Yes.
Yes to her. I love that woman. I do.
Me too. And there were a lot of scenes from Dollywood. And I kept looking to see, are they going to go to the train? Or are they going to be on the train?
Maybe. Now, she has recorded some things from the train last year, maybe the year before last. I don't know. And when my little nephew was, working.
You were little nephew, little Kyle.
Little Kyle. Yep. His mom's hanging out with him this week because there's too much smoke and fire over there near her place.
Oh, yeah.
She went over to Kyle's, and my brother is staying here, Hey, that reminds me, and this is really, I probably will cut this out, but Blue Ridge Community College is closed for the next 6 days, I think, because they have to sanitize the buildings because of something going around.
TB? Is it TB?
I can't find out.
It's I know flu and RSV were going around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that, my gosh, 6 days. It takes that long?
Well, there's a holiday, I guess.
Oh, right. Veterans Day's coming up.
So that's part of it. And school was going to be closed anyway, but it's closed like today, tomorrow, the weekends, and then Monday and maybe Tuesday as well.
Golly.
So, yeah, I'm just curious because if it is flu, COVID, or RSV, then that tells me it must be pretty daggone bad for them to close the college, everything on the campus. It almost makes me think that it's something different than that.
Well, TB is everywhere right now. Tuberculosis.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I get all my information, as you know, from Twitter, but I've been hearing that from a lot of people in a lot of places.
I'm determined to find out. And my first thought was, oh, I'll call the school and ask them. And it's like, wait, dummy, they're closed. Duh. I'm smart. But
yeah, but somebody's gonna be there.
Yeah.
People are gonna be there cleaning.
They won't, I don't know what
they would be answering the phone.
Well, I'm calling on my friends who might know to see if they can help me figure it out. At one time I went to go somewhere, I think it was in Las Vegas. I wanted to go and stay at this place in Las Vegas that I liked, and they had it closed for Legionnaire's disease.
Oh, golly.
Had gotten in the HVAC somehow.
Well, I got to tell you, I was in 1, 2, 3 airports on Monday, and I wore an N95 in the airport and on the plane.
I'm glad.
And I kept touching it like this to make sure it was close around my whole, nose and mouth, because, and I was one of very few people who were wearing masks. But what's so good about it, I mean, aside from the obvious, is that I don't know, I'm not sensitive to it particularly, but I can't stand it when people smell like cigarette smoke. I just don't like it. Yeah. And so if I've got that N95 on, I don't smell that. I don't smell that woman sitting in the seat ahead of me that's poured a gallon of some cheap perfume over her head. I don't smell any of that.
I don't know why.
None of it.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good.
Yeah.
You made a real good case for wearing the mask.
I just think even if some miracle happened and we were disease free, which would be a miracle because never going to happen, I still think every time I fly, I'm going to wear a mask because that is kind of recycled air. So I'm having to breathe everybody else's breath. And I used to, when I'd fly a lot, I'd end up getting a cold anyway. And I go, well, I was flying, I got some airline crud, but there I go. Yeah. Got a mask on. I don't hardly get no crud.
Yeah. I don't anymore. I don't care what people think. And of course I never really did. It's always been for my own self, but there was a point where I was a little bit embarrassed to still be wearing a mask back, I don't know, when COVID was first winding down, and all the rednecks were like, well, you ain't cool if you I felt a little embarrassed, but I did it anyway when I felt like I should, and now I'm pretty much doing it all the time when I'm out.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's a good idea. I have not been doing it everywhere I go, but if I go to someplace where I'm in close quarters with people, yeah, I'm aware. I've always got one in my purse just in case.
Yeah. Do you remember back when COVID first got started? I was at the cottage. I went to pick up to-go food for Mom.
I do.
And those 2 construction workers almost got their asses whipped.
That's right. You came real close to kicking some asses.
I got a little irritated. I can't remember the details, but I remember that situation, and I'll bet they kept their mouth shut for the rest of the day about that.
Yeah. Because it ain't none of their business what you want to do.
Exactly.
None. Not a bit of their business.
No.
They don't get to have an opinion about what you do. Don't elect dumbasses. That should be our next t-shirt. Weird Mountain Gals say, don't elect no dumbasses.
Yeah, I believe that could be or it could be a picture of you and a shillelagh, and underneath all it has to say is FAFO.
I'm just kind of there lately with things. Yeah, really?
Yeah.
We gonna talk about this? All right, by God, we're gonna talk about it. Sit down.
Yeah.
You
Well,
coffee or what? Yeah.
I have thought about those bullies since then, and that's why I call
Yeah.
them in my mind, because what kind of person, two guys on one girl, let's go bully
Right.
one girl, both of us, we'll go bully that one girl. What was
Right.
the purpose? Why? What did
Because they were raised in a culture that hates women, despises women,
but they
and you weren't their woman.
and never will be.
No, and they were all younger than you too, so they were disrespecting an older woman.
An older woman that put them in their place, I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely, you did, and that's what all women should do to men anytime they're doing it. They're pulling that bullshit. It's just like, youngin, really? You don't talk to me like that?
Mm-hmm.
You kiss your mama with that mouth? Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me?
Well, the only thing I didn't do, because I wasn't quick on my feet like you are, is I should have had one thumb and one palm, or I should have gone,
Exactly.
Hey,
Watch this.
Yeah.
Try making that thing work again later than that when you want it to.
For those in the local area, there is a group of doctors that can check you out for mast cell weirdness.
Yay.
And they're in Arden. They have an office in Hendersonville, an office in Arden, and an office in Asheville. And so, yay, there's help there. And
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you have finally found some answers, and that you're able to share those answers with other people who have been dealing with this as long or longer than you have.
It's crazy how it's changed my outlook on everything. Because I felt so good hearing them say, well, if you have this, it doesn't necessarily cut short the quality of your lifespan unless you have a cytokine storm and die or something else. But
Right.
but it does affect the quality of your life. And I thought, well, that sounds like if I get my symptoms under control, I can have a good quality of life. And that's what I want. So yeah,
Exactly. That's what we all want for you too.
I know we have a lot of genealogy people in this group who follow us.
Yes, we do.
So if you do 23andMe, be aware of a couple of things. First of all, they had a huge data breach. And so a lot of your personal data was compromised. And then secondly, I'm not sure if y'all realize it, but all of them do it, and including 23andMe, they are selling your information to the insurance companies, not just life insurance either, medical insurance, and the pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah.
So the ramifications of that are big. First of all, the pharmaceutical companies, it may probably, hopefully, help them to create more accurate drugs. Okay, if they have a more accurate feeling about what's going on in the population and in their demographics. But if we ever go back to pre-existing conditions are excluded from your insurance, which that was something that changed a few years back. It used to be that you didn't want a pre-existing condition because the insurance companies wouldn't have to cover you for that if you changed.
That's right.
And then it all got changed, and now the insurance companies are going to know whether you want them to or not, what genetic deficiencies you might have. And believe me,
isn't that terrifying? It's terrifying.
Well, between knowing that and being able to go back and find your shopping history, your internet viewing history.
Yeah.
Already are paying companies to go in and scoop out that information so that they know if you're going over here to this, I don't know, diabetes page or something over and over again, and then you go to Walmart and order insulin, or you know what I'm saying, some
Yeah.
they're going to know probably that you have got this and this and this, and that could potentially be used against you. So I do believe in genetic testing. I believe you also have the right to find out where you're from and what your genes have to say. It's a way of looking up your ancestry and being closer to that part of your family. But you need to know that could be coming.
Well, and people shouldn't be selling our information without permission. You shouldn't have to opt out of it. They should have to opt in if they're going to do it.
Right.
But that's not where we are.
Right. And they actually set it up so that if you don't opt in, if you say, no, I'm not going to accept these cookies on this page, the page won't work. It just won't work. If you don't let us do what we want, you ain't going to get to see it. And so therefore, everybody, me included, we might look occasionally and see what that means to accept all cookies. But for the most part, we just tell our browsers, oh, go ahead. This is a good site. Safe. Because what else are you going to do?
Right. If you want to go to the site, you're going to accept the cookies.
Yeah. So there you go. Wherever you have it, there you are. Mr. Brady says, so supper, you wanted to know about my supper, and I'm telling you.
What you going to make for supper?
I don't have a clue. That's the only reason that 4-ingredient diet would have been good, was because at least I wouldn't have had to worry about it.
Well, I got one of those over to the Hopi today, one of those chopped salads that has a whole bunch of vegetables and fruits and stuff in it, and has a little packet of dressing. So we're going to have that for sure, and maybe some soup. We might eat something simple tonight.
Yeah, I like simple food.
Yeah.
Toast a sandwich or grill it and have some soup and be done with it.
Well, and I did that thing that I always do because, wasting food is a sin to me. So I had eaten out in Pittsburgh several times, and I can almost never finish the whole meal, but I don't want to waste it. So I come back with my little styrofoam box full of stuff. And normally I just, I finally just give up and throw it out because I've chosen to eat meals with friends and all that. By God, this time I just had my pocketbook. I didn't have a carry-on. So I put all those little styrofoam containers, I stacked them up in a bag, and that was my carry-on. So I ate some of it at Charlotte in the airport. So I didn't have to buy any food in the airport. And then I got home. By God, I used it to make supper last night.
That's a good use.
I got to use all that stuff up. It was good.
Yay!
I hate to see that stuff get wasted. It was good.
I'm proud about that for you. Well,
me too.
I have spent the last couple of weeks saying, oh, well, any day now I'm going to start that 4-ingredient diet. So
you still ain't done
right
it
now. And
you still ain't done it. You ain't gonna do it.
No, and I don't think I will. I just don't think I will. I hope I do, but whether I do or not, I'm going to quit indulging myself. I was using it as an excuse. Oh, well, I'll only have 4 ingredients soon. Eat this thing while I make it. I might not be able to have pizza for a while, And whatever I eat, it's not going to be bad for me. I hope anyway.
Good.
So
yeah, I've really been trying to just be conscious about what I'm eating, so I don't eat so much. Because when you're on the road a little bit, you can be indulgent about what you eat. Oh well, I'm on vacation, but when you're on the road all the time, you cannot.
Right.
You gotta often say, yes, I would really love to have a big greasy burger and a big stack of fries, but instead can you bring me the big old salad and cut up a piece of grilled chicken on top of it?
It's hard.
Yeah.
I have a friend who ended up in rehab, and the reason for that is because, or that he gave was, well, every night out of town is work for me, but it's somebody else's big night, and they want to treat me, and
Yeah.
so there's drinking involved and blah blah blah. I think he admitted it because rehab showed it to him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now he tells people, don't do that around me.
Well, the thing is, I am meeting more and more people that are in recovery from whatever thing they are addicted to, whether it's food or alcohol or drugs of some kind. Not that alcohol is not a drug, because it is a drug. And that I just think they're really brave, a lot of them, to just say, I would love to go hang out with you if we were going to have coffee and pie, but I can't go if y'all are going to go to a bar and pitch a big drunk. It's not good for me. And I admire them being able to do that, because, and the thing is, most of the time, if somebody says that, then people will say, well, where can we go? We'll get coffee. You want to go? Well, we'll go to Starbucks, I guess, but is there a local coffee place where we could get a piece of pie, or is there like a diner that they wouldn't mind if we all came in and took up 2 tables and didn't have nothing but coffee and pie? Yeah.
Not a tip, I imagine. But yeah, no, that's good. I admire those people too.
Yeah.
Goodwill.
And I think the more they are just willing to say, yeah, I don't do that, the more people are going to go, well, I probably shouldn't be doing it either. And maybe we all get a little healthier. I don't know.
Maybe. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever met a single person that didn't have an addiction to either caffeine or sugar? And whether you call it an addiction or not.
I don't think so.
That's a real addiction too. And
it really is. Sugar is my addiction. We talk about, oh yeah, Byron and her Irish whiskey, but I probably don't have Irish whiskey more than a couple times a month and then have like a shot of it. But the thing, absolutely, sugar is my addiction.
In the United States, for sure. I can't speak about other places, but in the United States, for sure, I think that's one of the most harmful substances on the planet, is refined sugar, and we have it in everything we eat. And
I agree.
We're addicted before we go into kindergarten.
Yeah. Yeah.
They did a study on an ingredient in cheese called casein. It's CASEIN. Yeah, something like that. And they found out that it was as addictive as heroin.
So that makes sense how much people love cheese.
Yeah.
So casein was also used to be used in Elmer's glue. Yes, ma'am. In Elmer's glue and in some paint. And we eat it in cheese.
Wow. I don't know what casein does. Do you?
I don't offhand.
It was in Elmer's glue. Maybe it holds the processed cheese together or something.
Maybe. It's an adhesive.
A gut adhesive.
A gut adhesive. That's just what we need in America, isn't it? A gut adhesive.
We already have the gut. So
oh my gosh. Well, are you thinking about the winter holidays yet and Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I am. I'm looking forward to it. I'm in kind of a music mode right now.
Oh, good.
Seems like I always cycle into it right when all the musicians are cycling out of it. Because musicians, a lot of my friends who are musicians, they don't like Christmas music, but they do like the season because they can come home and not be on the road and all of that mess.
Yeah.
And I'm the oddball that goes, oh, Christmas music. Let's go do some Christmas concert or something. They're all like, nah.
So.
This is the time of year. Craig and I used to do a Christmas concert at Isothermal College every year this year. And
nice.
We would just because he loves Christmas music, and he'll get on the piano and it'll sound like a carnival, as Billy Joel says, and it just sounds like Christmas. So we would sing all those songs from the 70s and all that. And I used to go to, there was a couple of, I'm not sure if it's proper to call them nursing homes, but that's what they were. A couple of nursing homes that I used to go to and do Christmas music there. And occasionally I would over at Carolina Village. And this year, I haven't really had anywhere to do that at for a number of years since COVID happened. So
Yeah.
it's on my mind. So, I don't really have a lot to complain about. I mean, I always do complain anyway. But
No, you don't. I don't think of you as a complainer at all.
Gosh,
no, I do not.
I hear myself sometimes when I'm editing the podcast and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe the way I whine about stuff sometimes. But I know at the end of it, I know I'm a lucky person. So
well, and it never feels to me like you're whining about things. It doesn't. Discussing, I'm sure, but not whining.
Well, and venting, I vent. You're the best person on the planet to vent with. I'm telling you.
Well, we both do that. We both let off steam. We both vent because I don't know, because we're passionate people. We care about things.
I do. I'm stupid enough to still care.
I don't think that's stupid. I think that's how humans need to be. I wish more people did care and didn't just kind of drown their grief and their sorrow and their fear with, I don't know,
The Golden
whatever
Bachelor.
crappy TV they're watching.
Yeah. Well, it is a good way to forget about stuff. Television. If you don't want to create your amnesia with a substance, then television is a good way to do it.
True.
Get away from the world for a while. And some of it is not bad. Some of it is not bad. I watch a lot of animal documentaries and a lot of nature documentaries, which sounds boring, but it's the
I don't think
way
so.
I travel. I travel that way. And beautiful imagery. I can see things. And I did, like the one I was watching last night was about the spring in the Serengeti. And beautiful photography, and it showed all the rare events that I would never see with my own eyes. And so I don't begrudge that. I don't.
No, me either.
Marlon Perkins.
We've been watching a lot of British gardening shows.
Really?
And that's been such an inspiration.
Really?
Yeah. Joe went out maybe yesterday morning and it built a cold frame.
Really?
Built a cold frame from scratch.
Wow.
Yep.
He's pretty handy. Yeah. You might want to keep him
around.
He is
handy. He's very handy.
You might want to just keep him around.
Yes, ma'am. I believe I will.
Tell him I put in a good word for him.
I will. I'll tell him you gave him the thumbs up.
The thumbs up, yeah. So I have a fairly light week as well, as far as I know. Just more the same.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So
it's about time.
Yes, ma'am. I totally agree. I have a lot of stuff I need to catch up on learning wise that I just haven't for the last few weeks because I've just been, running here and there. And I'll get some of that done too. And I may even get to read a book before it's over. Have enough time.
What?
It might even happen.
No way.
No
way.
I got to read. When I was at the cottage, I read a lot.
Oh, that's good. I hardly read anymore, and I'd like to, but I'm afraid if I read too much, it's going to influence my writing. So I end up I hardly ever, I used to always read nonfiction, but now that I write nonfiction, I have to really think about what kind of fiction I want to read that doesn't have anything to do with what I write about.
Gotcha.
I don't get influenced by stuff.
Well, that does make sense. My buddy Gary, ever since I've known him, his pastime has been reading. And he likes nothing better than to read. And we used to talk about, we were in our 30s talking about, when I retire, I'm going to read all day. I'm just going to read all day. We went on vacation, some friends, and Gary was along to Disney one time. And here we are at the Disney resort. And he didn't even want to go anywhere. He just wanted to go and read his book. and be left alone to read a book. It's like he was willing to pay to get into Disney if it meant he could be alone long enough to read a book, and he is tired now and reading all.
It makes sense to me because you'd be with your friends and they would be gone most of the day. Then they come back in the evening. Y'all could all have supper together.
Mm-hmm.
And then he could have that quiet time to himself.
Right. And there was no significant other there to say, "Hey, what you doing?" He could just sit there and read, because his buddies didn't care. It's like, well, dude, if you don't want to go, see you later.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm so glad that reading has not gone away all the way yet.
No. And I think people are coming back to it. I really do.
Good. I should. The internet, in spite of being really good for a lot of things, it's fragmented our thinking.
Yes.
And with a book.
No question. No question.
So anyway, well, we didn't touch on music. We don't have to this time.
We did. You talked about what's going on with your album.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
There was a person, Robert Cray, I think is his name, that my buddy has been listening to. And I've started listening to Robert Cray a little bit. Do you know who that guy is?
No, I don't think I do.
I'll send you a link before it's over, but he's got a song, this is a still smoking something, another gun or something. He's got several songs that you would recognize. And I'm just now starting to kind of appreciate his voice, because I never really paid attention to him before. And I was also listening to the Babies. Do you remember the Babies?
Yeah. Golly.
Every time I think of you. I love that song.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I'm going to run.
All right. I'll go make some supper.
I'll work on a post for the Weirdlings if you want.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll see about getting together.
That'd be good.
All right. Well, that's what I'll check on. Yay.
Oh, that'll be fun. We'll all have supper together.
Yeah, I'd love that. All right.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun.
I will let you go. And bye to everybody listening. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you all so much. And we're going to be reporting back on how much outdoors time we spend this winter.
Yeah. But
it's easy right now because the weather's so pretty, but
we won't have to report much because they'll be able to tell by our tone of voice.
Yeah. How nice. That's exactly right. Y'all be good. And what is it you always say, Alicia? Have behavior. I will have some behavior, and you too.
Okay, I will. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Good to talk to you, honey.
You too. We'll see you later.
Yeah. Bye.